I see dead people.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Forget you.
You are under destiny.
Here's Johnny.
Look at me, Jamie. It's all for you.
Hello and welcome to the Horror Hour. It's the place we discuss, we debate, we disagree on all things horror. I'm one of the co-hosts here, Yutaka. Hello. And today I am joined with Liam.
Hi.
And I'm excited because we got screeners of Studio 666, the Foo Fighters horror film with a story or based on a story written by, of course, Dave Grohl. Directed by B.J. McConnell, with an original score by Ray Mayorga and a song by, get this, John Carpenter. I'm just saying, I geeked the fuck out when I saw that. And so we're gonna let you know the things we liked, the things we didn't like, our overall thoughts, score, and should you go see this? So let's talk about the good. First off, the kills. The kills were brutal, and the blood was
Everywhere. It was beautiful to see. Yeah, like I was not I was not expecting the kills to be this brutal. I at first thought this was good, was like the Foo Fighters attempt at doing like scary movie. And then it wasn't. And I was like, holy fuck. Ah!
Yeah, I remember seeing the trailer before Scream, and like people next to me laughed and they're like, this movie looks like shit. Meanwhile, I'm like, I think it kind of looks fun. And I'll tell you, watching this, the kills, great. The acting, we'll get to that. But the story was a lot of fun. I mean, it didn't go too in depth. It was, pretty straightforward. But what I loved is just the progression of as the story moved on and the soundtrack and the score continued to like just pick up, which is obviously kind of the point. But I really enjoyed that. It just it took me back. Okay. And then also, we're not going to spoil it, but there are some cameos that you're going to lose your fucking mind.
Great.
Like that. I can't even, I can't spoil it. But Liam and I were like, it was
like legit did not see any of these coming. There was one where I was like, wouldn't that be hilarious? Oh my god, it happened.
Yeah, kudos.
And it was great.
It really was. Like there was some really, obviously this is a comedy horror, and I would say the comedy elements they did really good.
Yeah.
Also, one of the other things I did like, the little bit of a twist. There was a twist at the end. I thought I saw some
a
of
bit
it.
of a twist. Yeah.
I mean, but either way,
I caught on to that from the very, very, very literal very beginning.
Yeah.
So it didn't come as like a good, oh, yes. But it was still fun to watch it play out.
Also, thoughts on that opening kill?
Oh my god.
Yeah, this opener was that's how you know. As soon as you see that opening kill, though, you realize this movie is going to be bloody as fuck. And that's what we want.
Exactly what we want.
Yeah.
And it was a great, like, when people see it, they're gonna be like, oh. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Get ready for it.
Things we probably didn't like, or at least things I know I didn't like, and we'll see if they're the same. Obviously, they're not professional actors in a sense, so some of it was a little like, okay, all right. However, props to Dave Grohl, though, in terms of some of the line delivery, because I laughed. I really did.
I have to say, I was impressed with Dave Grohl. I was impressed with the Foo Fighters overall, to be fair.
Yes.
Because
it could have been worse.
Yeah, I looked at it as there has been some films and things, TV shows and things like that made to enhance a career of a band, a singer, whatever. And sometimes they got awful. Let's look at S Club 7 in the early 2000s. Terrible. So Spice Girls, however, that's the blueprint. So going into it, I was like, oh, they're going to be terrible. So I think going into it with the mindset
low expectations,
they're going to be terrible, I was like, oh, you know what? They're actually doing quite good. And it made it a lot more enjoyable than what I thought it would be. So I was really impressed.
And also I would say the timing or the time. It was like a hour 45 minutes, and I would say certain things were repetitive.
The first 40 minutes could have been cut down to 10.
I wouldn't say that much. I was just saying maybe take out 20 minutes of the film.
Okay, fine. Not 40 minutes.
But I think it was just more I won't say filler, because I feel like they felt there was a purpose, but I think it just stretched things out to where I also felt myself saying, okay, let's move on. I want to see more.
Yeah.
Because they'll show you something and you're like, oh my fucking God. And then you're like,
excuse me, sir.
So, I mean, yeah, that's what I would say to that. Okay. We had a little bit of technical difficulties. Liam's in a storm, so it happens. So we were kind of on what we didn't like, and we were talking about issues with the time.
Yeah.
Liam thinks they could take out more. I mean, I don't know.
To be fair, I might have over exaggerated. I said 40 minutes because once I got to the 40 once I got to the 40-minute mark, I actually paused it to go and grab a drink, and I was like, oh wow, crap, this has been on for 40 minutes. It feels like it's been on for about an hour and 15. I think a lot of that first 40 minutes, it
was a lot of setup.
Yeah, there was a lot of setup, and I feel like it was set up multiple times. It wasn't just set up the once.
That's
so
fair.
That I would take out the multiple setups. We only need to know certain things once, if that makes sense.
I mean, no, I completely agree. I will say there were times to where it was just a little like it dragged. That's, I don't know if it needed to be as long as it did. I think if you could have taken out maybe a few minutes here, a few minutes, I think you could have tightened it up a bit.
Yeah.
I think I'm not in a band, so there were certain times to where, they're like, oh, we got to make this record because for so-and-so, even though you've just witnessed a death. I don't know. Logic was odd.
I mean, if we didn't have that logic, we wouldn't have a film. So
all right,
that didn't like cause me an issue. I was like, yeah, that wouldn't happen, but it makes sense. Stupid, but makes
Actually,
sense.
I'm trying to see if I find really any other issues with the film other than time. Overall, what score would you get this on a 1 to 10 scale?
7.
Okay. That's fair. I went 8. Yeah.
7.
So we were kind of around the same. Also, we had another friend who was able to see this. They kind of agreed with the 8. Just saying. Even though 7's actually still really respectable.
I only give it a 7.
A 7 is still very respectable, though.
7
like
is
we
respectable.
both enjoyed it pretty much. Like, let's
and
be
we
honest.
both have pretty much similar feelings when it comes to like what could have made it better. I just think obviously for you there was less that could have been cut out. For me, there was a lot more that could have been cut out. So, and taking that into account, that's where my
I think we were like around the same. Would you see this in theaters if given the opportunity?
Now that I've seen it, yes.
It comes out February 25th. I did see, at least in my area, I'm lucky on this. I'm really shocked because we normally, when it comes to limited releases, sometimes in the Midwest, you don't get much, but I'm really shocked. We do have it in multiple theaters here Friday. In fact, we have early showings on Thursday at 5.
Jump on it.
I would say I would see this in theaters. In fact, I am going to go see this in theaters. I would like to see this on the big screen. I would love to hear the sounds because the soundtrack's great, honestly. But I want to see
phenomenal.
I want to see those kills. I want to see all that gore. Just it's so good. It's so good. So look, we would say go see this. We have a similar score, positive review, I would say. So from us, yeah. So, hey, if you see it, let us know. Comment down below. Let us know what you thought. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What did you think about those cameos? And if you hated those cameos, get the fuck out, because those cameos were great. And hey, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, notification bell. We've got plenty more reviews coming out. Either way, please go see this film if you can. It truly is. I loved it. I really did. And hey, till next time, guys. Bye.
You have been listening to the Horror Hour. See you next time.